I stayed in academia for almost 8 years, and all these 8 years I thought that there is only one career path that exists after PhD. That is, you finish your PhD, do a postdoc, and do one more postdoc, publish good and high impact factor papers, and become a professor one day. That is only the career path I knew that exists after PhD. But however, during my postdoc, I realized that there are also other career opportunities available for PhDs. That is, moving from academia to industry. And industries in Germany offer permanent contracts. That's not happening in academia. So that attracted me towards applying job roles in industry, and within 6 months I got 4 job offers. So in this video, I'll share my academic journey and how I made the transition from academia to industry and what are the lessons I have learned during this transition. I completed my PhD in material science and engineering in 2019 under Professor Cholgi Kim. He is a leading researcher in magnetic materials and spintronics, and I was so fortunate to work under him because before moving to South Korea to do my PhD, I don't know so much. I don't know so much about research. He taught me what is research and how to think independently, and also he gave me a lot of freedom to explore new ideas. And I could say for sure that because of him I could be able to build a strong foundation to my research career. And my entire PhD was funded by Samsung Electronics South Korea. So at the very early stage of my research career, I had the opportunity to work very closely with industry partners because every few months we need to present research progress, we need to discuss our results and prepare a long detailed project reports. After working for some time, we published a Korean patent together with Samsung Electronics. And during my PhD, I also published 2 papers. One is published in Lab on a Chip and another one is published in IEEE Transactions Magnetics. So during my PhD, I have learned all the necessary skills to continue my research career further. Like, I learned all about the technical knowledge, and I learned how to collaborate with people, and I learned how to write papers. Also, I learned about the project management. With that experience, I moved to Germany to continue my research career in 2019, immediately after completing my PhD. I joined as a guest scientist at the Max Planck Institute for Intelligent Systems under Professor Metin City. He's a pioneer in soft robots. So I worked with him to develop magnetic soft robots for biomedical applications, and these robots are made of biodegradable polymers. I made these soft robots like a gripper. So these robots can grab the drug and it can roll using magnetic field, and once it reaches to the targeted destination, it can release the drug. And normally in surgery, once the specific task is finished, we need additional surgery to remove the robot back, but this one is made of biodegradable material. So once it is reached to targeted destination, we no need additional surgery to remove the robot back. If we just give an enzyme, the robot can be degraded at that location. So that is the application of this project. This research innovation is published in Advanced Functional Materials. And after publishing this one, I made a collaboration between my Professor Cholgi Kim in South Korea and Professor Metin City, because some of my work is not published during my PhD. So I want to publish this work by collaborating with Metin City. So we have added some biology results so that the paper can go to more high impact factor paper. So we added extra results and improvised manuscript, and this paper got published in Nature Communications. So within 1.5 years, I published Advanced Functional Materials and Nature Communications. And then I wanted to apply to Professor Oliver. In 2020, I joined Professor Oliver's lab as a postdoctoral researcher at the Leibniz Institute. And Professor Oliver has a Guinness World Record for developing world's smallest micro robots. I was so happy to join his lab. There I worked on Microsoft robots for embryo transfer. The application is different than the drug delivery. And also during my postdoc, I had some novel research innovation. So I want to make that research innovation to turn into business. I also worked on startup. So basically I'm doing everything to build a successful academic career. But something always kept bothering me. In academia, we have contracts that needs to be renewed every year or every few years depending on the project. So it's not a permanent contract. So always this uncertainty and dilemma about what's next after this contract, and will there be a funding, will I have to move to another city, or can I even stay in this country, could I continue my research forever. I couldn't really plan my future, even buying a house or buying a car. I cannot plan because everything depending on the contract. So around that time something interesting happened. During my postdoc at the Leibniz Institute, I saw one of my colleagues left academia and moved to industry. And this is the first time I see anyone leaving academia and moving to industry. And he has almost 10 years of research experience. I thought he will be a group leader or professor or something related to academia. So it surprised me, and I called him and I wanted to understand everything, how he moved to industry, because at the time even I don't know the word called transition from academia to industry transition. So I was asking, how did you go to industry and how did you apply for it, or how did you match your research background to industry, all these questions. And that conversation helped me understand there is not just one career path exists after PhD. There are also other career paths available for PhDs. So I decided to explore industry opportunities. So when I began exploring industry opportunities, I did not know how to prepare my CV, because I have an academic CV but I don't know how to convert it to industry CV, and also I don't know which job roles or which companies I should target, and also I don't know how to prepare for interviews. So I used my network, I used LinkedIn, and I approached some of the people who made the transition from academia to industry. I asked the questions whatever I have in my mind, and I clarified most of the things, and based on their inputs I prepared my CV and applied for industry job roles. And within 2 months I had two job offers in my hand. One is ASML in Netherlands and another one is XFAB Semiconductors in Germany. So I chose XFAB because it's in Germany and the company is good. But after working for 4 months I wanted to move back to Dresden because I did my postdoc there and I made so many friends. So even though I like the company, I like the working environment, I like the colleagues, and I was learning also so much there, but I wanted to move back to Dresden. So I applied for job roles in Dresden, and within few weeks I got two more job offers. One is Heteromerge, a startup company, and another one is Linkshans, a global French company. So I chose Linkshans and I started to work there. So during this entire journey moving from academia to industry, I learned that we no need to learn new skills. We already have the skills through our research. So we just need to identify our skills, and we need to learn how to transfer our skills from research to industry language. That's how we can do. So looking at my own journey, I often think that how different my journey could have been if someone had told me about the career possibilities during my PhD or very early days of my postdoc, because I spent 8 years in academia, then I decided to explore industry. But if I known earlier, I could have chosen my career path much earlier. So that's exactly why I created Researcher Compass. I don't believe every PhD should leave academia. Academia is a wonderful career path for many researchers, but I do believe every researcher deserves to know the career opportunities available after PhD. I don't want researchers to feel stuck simply because they don't know what other career paths exist beyond academia. If this channel helps even one researcher navigate their career with more confidence than I had, then Researcher Compass has already achieved this purpose. If you enjoy this video, please consider subscribe to Researcher Compass. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.